Hello, thanks for tuning in. My name is Stuart. I'm a classical record collector and this is an eBay unboxing video. Well, not quite, because I've already unboxed them. They were quite a job getting them out of the boxes, so I'll spare you that. I'll just show you what I've bought. Now bear in mind that I don't do my charity shop hauls in the same videos that I do my eBay unboxing. And the reason for that is that they're two very different beasts. When I'm in charity shops, because the prices tend to be, you know, like £1 or £2 each, I tend to buy a lot more, and I tend to buy a lot that, you know, I probably wouldn't buy unless the price was so low. So when I buy on eBay, I'm very specific about what I want. I'm not just buying, you know, oh I fancy having that, and it's more that, yeah, I specifically want these items. These are my own personal interest. So my eBay unboxings are going to be a lot more specific to what I'm interested in, and for that reason I'm going to be doing them in this format and playing one or two of the records, not too much, just to give an idea of what some of the records sound like and what I'm interested in. Okay, so I haven't got too many records. Let me just show you what I bought. Now, the composer Corelli, there we are. I bought these two. I found a seller. First I looked at this record. I thought, oh, that looks interesting. Corelli Violin Sonatas. And then I noticed that there's one volume of two. And lo and behold, he had the second one as well. I asked him if he would combine the shipping, and he said yes, and I think I got these for a good price actually. They were about £5 each, and of course the shipping, which to get a two record set of the Corelli Violin Sonatas I think is you know, quite good really on eBay. You know, the condition looks okay, so I'm just going to play one of them, Corelli, and let's have a listen. I've already put one on the turntable, so let's have a listen to it and we'll check what the music sounds like, because I'm not familiar with the Corelli Violin Sonatas. You know that I collect violinists and I collect violin music as well, so I was very interested to listen to these. So okay, let's have a listen to Corelli. Well, it's a shame to interrupt that. I think that sounds absolutely fabulous. Yeah, I just dropped it into this is the first violin sonata. Let's see how many sonatas are on each record. Let's have a look. We've got, on the first volume, we've got numbers 1, 7, 2, 8, 3 and 9. That's a lot of sonatas. But of course Baroque violin sonatas tend to be shorter than classical violin sonatas. And then we've got, let's have a look, 4, 10, 5, 11, 6 and 12. Yeah, so the complete Corelli Violin Sonatas. I'm really pleased with this, and that sample that I played sounds absolutely fabulous. Great sound quality, and also I really like the music. So that's good. Let's have a look at the next one that I bought. Let's just get this off the turntable because we're going to be listening to another one. Let's just pop that off, put it somewhere safe. Well, we're not going to be listening to this. Yeah, so I bought this as well. And actually I paid quite a bit for this. I won't say how much, it's a bit embarrassing. I think I paid a bit too much money for this, but I found this sufficiently interesting and unusual to buy. I've never had it before, and it is actually quite unusual. So it's Ashkenazy and Lynn Harrell playing Rachmaninoff's cello sonatas. Actually, yeah, let's just pop it on the turntable. Let's just check the condition, if nothing else, shall we? Here we are, find the spindle. don't put too many spindle marks on it. Now let's just drop that down. Oh, it sounds a bit noisy. Yeah, it's a bit noisy at the beginning. Let's find out, because sometimes that happens with the beginning of the record. Let's put it. That's not as bad, but this record definitely needs a clean. So I'll be getting my my Groom upholstery cleaner, which I which I use, and I'll be giving that a good clean. Hopefully it will clean up well. Otherwise, that's going to be going back. Okay, so let's move on then. Now I bought this. Now the reason I bought this Vivaldi concertos for mandolins is that there's a famous Vivaldi mandolin concerto, and I haven't got it on record, and I really wanted it. And oddly enough, I've not really seen the Vivaldi mandolin concerto that often on record, which really surprises me. So yeah, this Erato record. Let's have a quick listen. And now we've got a concerto for two mandolins, so we don't want that one. And we've got here concerto for mandolin et corde, which I think means strings. So I think that's it. It's the last three tracks. Let's listen to the famous first movement of that. And let's see if I'm going to have to clean this record as well. So there we are. Oh, it sounds noisy. That's noisy. Well, I'm pleased with that. It is a bit noisy. I'm going to have to clean this record as well. It needs a really deep groove clean, but I'm absolutely delighted, particularly with the sound quality. I've listened to the mandolin concerto on YouTube and on the CD, but as I was standing there listening, I mean, it sounds like the mandolin is literally, you know, right in the room with me. You can really get a sense of the instrument. So I'm absolutely delighted with that recording. Okay, so that's good. I'm happy with that. I think it will clean up and I won't have any noise issues with it. So let's move on. And the last item, the biggest item and the most expensive one, is this. So, you know, I'm a big Mozart fan, and Mozart composed about 50 symphonies in total, numbered 1 to 41, and then numbered, I think, 42, 43, 44 to 50 or so. But 41st Symphony was the last symphony, oddly enough, and they've numbered those because later on symphonies were attributed to Mozart, and so they had to give them numbers, and obviously they gave them higher numbers, which is a bit erroneous because it sort of leads to the impression that these are going to be great symphonies, but they're not. They're early works. So the reason I bought this is I haven't got a set of the early Mozart symphonies, and you don't really get better than Neville Marriner and Academy of St Martin in the Fields. Marriner has a way of breathing life into these early works that frankly a lot of other conductors just don't have. Some of you may disagree with me. A notable exception to that is Charles Mackerras, who on Telarc on CD, his cycle is absolutely superb. but it's not available on vinyl. I've actually got it on CD, but I wanted to have something on vinyl, so I'm really pleased with this. Let's just have a quick look and see if we've got any noise issues, because so far all the records I've played, they've had some kind of issue. I'm going to have to do some cleaning work. So here we are. Yeah, Dutch pressing. There's a really good informative booklet there, which has got an excellent essay about Mozart's development as a symphonist, right from when he was 8 years old. And these are basically symphonies written up to about the age of 17. So before any of the great symphonies. Let's have a listen to Symphony Number 1, first movement, just maybe 10 or 20 seconds or so. And Mozart was one of the great symphonists, along with him, Haydn, Beethoven, Schubert, of course, and Brahms. These are the great symphonists, and I often think it would be an interesting sort of competition to compare the first symphonies of Mozart, Haydn, Beethoven, etc. I think that Mozart's first symphony was composed at the age of 8, so don't expect too much. Let's have a listen. This is the earliest symphony that Mozart wrote. There we go, Neville Marriner. Okay, yeah, so Mozart was under the influence of Johann Christian Bach when he was young, when he was writing this, and if you listen to Johann Christian Bach's symphonies, you can certainly get a good sense of the galant style, and Mozart imitated that for some time. So a lot of the symphonies actually are quite upbeat, quite bouncy and sparkling, but I just think that Neville Marriner brings out all the musicality that can be brought out of them, and so I'm delighted to have this set. Okay, well that's it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back again with another video soon. Look forward to your comments. Bye for now.